Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I am so excited because today's episode is a little bit different. Instead of diving into the usual topics related to ketamine preparation and the subconscious mind, I'm here to share something that I have been looking forward to for a while. We're about to welcome some incredible guests onto the podcast. Actually, I've already welcomed these amazing guests and recorded some podcast episodes. And over the coming weeks, you'll see guest episodes sprinkled into the solo ketamine integration episodes that you have grown to love. So, what could you possibly expect from this? Over the next few weeks, we'll be having a mix of amazing people on the show, from clients who have experienced powerful transformations through ketamine to professionals in the field who are helping shape the future of psychedelic therapy and healing and medicine. We'll be bringing in some folks who are doing really fascinating work that supports this experimental world that psychedelic healing is, and I could not be more excited. My goal with these episodes is to give you a real sense of what's possible, not just the technical details of ketamine, but the heart, the soul, and the people behind the work. Ketamine can exist as this mysterious topic, and I want to bring it down and introduce you to the people in the field. So why this episode preface with everything that's to come? I want to be upfront with you about how I'll be guiding these conversations. One of the things that I've seen a lot of in this space is trauma dumping. When people share very difficult details of a challenging past without consent from or consideration for the person listening, that is what we call trauma dumping. And of course, I totally honor people's stories and journeys and what they've been through, but that is not what we're focusing on here. I call this oversharing, and that's not what we want here. Here at Ketamine Connections, I am committed to making sure that the stories you hear on the show are shared in a way that is not only inspirational, but also subconsciously sound. What do I mean when I say subconsciously sound? I mean that the topics are presented in a way that keeps your subconscious mind from any unnecessary programming. If you're not sure what that means, head over to episode 3 of this podcast, where I go into greater detail into how possible it is to be programmed for certain experiences in your ketamine journey by listening to other people's stories, and how to prevent that from happening. And that is what this podcast is really committed to. What I want most for the stories that I feature here on Ketamine Connections is for you to draw inspiration from others. So instead of oversharing, I will be guiding our guests to share the essence of their transformation, the shift from where they were to where they are now, so that you, as this beautiful listener that you are, you can feel uplifted and empowered, and maybe even start wondering, hey, what's possible for me with ketamine? I want you to walk away from these episodes feeling excited, feeling hopeful, not weighed down by heavy details. So if you're considering ketamine, or if you're on the fence whether it's right for you, these stories are going to be the perfect way for you to see what's possible and get some seeds planted into your subconscious mind in a subconsciously sound way. And whether you're a previous client of mine or you've gone through ketamine therapy, also, maybe you're a professional who works in this space, I would love to have you on the show. There is a link in the show notes. I want you to fill that out so that I can know that you want to be featured. This is really a community effort, and I'm always looking to bring in more voices, more stories, more wisdom to help everyone listening see the power of ketamine and psychedelic healing. So there's the link in the show notes. Fill it out yourself, share it with someone you know, submit a story. We want you on the podcast. Come on down. I know, and I believe, and I have seen firsthand so many times that when you hear someone's story, it can help you connect to your own experience. And that's really the heart of why I'm bringing guests on. My hope is that as you listen to these stories of transformation, whether it's from a client who went through ketamine treatment or a professional working in the field, I want you to see a little bit of yourself in what they share. So many people come to ketamine or psychedelic therapy feeling uncertain. You might have been on a long journey, on a long road, and you're not really sure if there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but maybe when you hear someone else's story, how they found their way from that same dark place, it can plant that seed of possibility that maybe, just maybe, you can experience the same kind of healing or even better. So that's what I want these stories here to focus on. I want them to give you hope. I want them to inspire you. I want them to give you a real look into what ketamine can offer and take ketamine from something that you see in the news or on podcasts into something that you know people in. All right. That is all for today's episode. I'm so excited for what's to come, and I hope you're feeling the same energy. Bringing guests onto the show has always been my vision for what I want to highlight here, and I cannot wait for you to hear these incredible stories. My hope is that these conversations will give you insight, hope, perspective, give you something that can maybe even nudge you if you are considering ketamine therapy, or even if you are just someone looking to transform your life with or without ketamine. These stories are going to be so good for that. As we move forward, I want you to know that these stories are not about the past, okay? They are about the future. They're about what is possible when you allow yourself to be open to transformation, whether through ketamine or other means. If you've ever felt maybe stuck or unsure about whether getting out of a pattern or a rut is possible for you, I know that these stories will help you see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and I am so excited to guide this conversation and to have you come along. I want to make sure that it's framed in the right way that feels empowering, grounded in possibility, subconsciously sound, and fun to listen to. So if you're someone who's going through ketamine therapy or works in the space or knows someone who is, and you feel like you want to share your story, please reach out. I would love to feature you. We're building a community. We're bringing as many voices as we can onto the show, highlighting all sorts of transformation. And I am really excited that you're here listening to this in preparation for what's to come. So the link in the show notes has all that you need to submit your interest form if you want to come on the show. And I'm so excited to bring these stories on in the coming weeks here on Ketamine Connections. Thank you for being a part of this journey, for trusting me to bring you these stories. Please stay curious, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Ketamine Connections. I hope you found our discussion insightful and empowering. Remember that understanding the subconscious mind and how to make the most of ketamine therapy can truly transform someone's healing journey. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to share it with your friends and family and anyone who might benefit from this information. So few people considering ketamine therapy are fully educated about its potential and the impact that it has on the subconscious mind. Your share could be the key element to their transformation. Don't forget to subscribe to Ketamine Connections so that you never miss an episode. And if you have a moment, I absolutely adore reading your reviews. So your feedback really helps me feel like this is an engaging exercise. Otherwise, I just feel like I'm talking into empty internet space. So your review really helps light me up and also helps me reach more audience. So I would appreciate one if you're willing. And please use the link below to submit any questions or topics that you would like covered. I cannot wait to hear from you and to co-create this journey together. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and embrace the possibilities that are available in this moment right here, right now. Thanks so much. See you next time on Ketamine Connections.